Alright, welcome to the first episode of Political Mitch. Ooh, you are in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen, especially if you like your mind expanded. I mean, there's mind blown, that's a whole other category, and that's a very sudden, catastrophic, but a mind that is just kind of caressed and coaxed and, kind of lured, seduced, if you will. So anyway, this recent election was like choosing between two Republicans. And those who think that Hillary is quote-unquote liberal or progressive, oh my God. I imagine these people also think of Michael Bublé as punk rock's great white hope. I honestly think that Republicans are mutations of the human species gone completely wrong. They're missing one thing: empathy. They don't think there's anybody else out there unless, oh shit, I need your vote. Then all of a sudden, hey, how you doing? How can I help you? What can I do in Washington on your behalf? Can I suck your cock right now? Can I? Can I? Is that a 20 in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Ladies and gentlemen, America will never be great again until we start treating republicanism, aka G.O.P.T.S.D, as the disease that it is. There's just something missing. And sadly, I have people in my own family that suffer from this affliction. And there is nothing you can't do about it. And the thing is, there are people who think they're liberals. They can vote their whole life democratically, and yet they never vote for anybody who's the least bit forward-thinking. It's all just part of the establishment, it's like vanilla and French vanilla. Whoa, yeah, what a choice I got there. Woo! And even when we had a African-American man in the White House, it was still just shades of vanilla. And that's the really sad part, is because people did not vote for vanilla either time. And that's what we got. We got Urkel when we wanted Prince. As invariably happens during a heated campaign season, I find myself talking to the occasional Republican. Anytime I do find myself in the middle of a conversation or an idiot circle of Republicans, I ask them quite simply, what do you think of Social Security? When that Social Security check shows up at the house every month, right on time like clockwork, do you bitch about it? Do you threaten to not cash it? No, why would I do that? I worked hard many years, paid into the system. I'm entitled to this money. Well, then thank a Democrat. That's a socialist program you're taking advantage of there. And then I ask, hey, any of you proud American patriots ever been on unemployment for any period of time? Through no fault of your own, of course. And of course, as soon as you found another job, you got off unemployment, otherwise you weren't a man. Yeah? Okay, you guys have been on unemployment. Okay. Well, thank a Democrat. Yeah, that's right. That's another program implemented by Democratic President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He was also the crazy guy who signed the executive order implementing Social Security benefits as part of the New Deal, which was his helping hand to the middle class and working America in response to the Great Depression. This is a man who was suffering from polio to the extent that he almost died numerous times during his presidency and was unable to walk. Yet there was nobody who fought harder for the American middle class or working family. It is at this point that the yabbits come out. They can't bring themselves to admit that Democrats have done anything that has ever benefited them, and all I've done is ask two questions that they have no answer to. Yet they take advantage of these programs that are socialist programs that were implemented by Democrats that they seemingly have no problem with, yet they vote straight Republican constantly against their own self-interests. By now I got a circle full of dudes who are sucking on their domestic brewskis quite nervously. Which brings me to my third question. You guys, enjoying those beers? Tasty? Refreshing? Well, yeah, sure. Why do you ask? Well, because you can thank a Democrat for that, too. No, man, cut it out. You have already humiliated us with the first two questions. Leave us alone. We've had enough truth for one lifetime. Can't you see that we're just trying to drink our pea-warm beer? All I'm doing is pointing out yet another instance where you Republicans enjoy the benefits that are fought for and implemented by Democrats, yet you keep voting against your own self-interest because there is no way in hell that Republicans would have implemented Social Security, unemployment benefits, or ended prohibition. And for proof that absolutely nothing has changed in almost 100 years, just look at the wall of obstruction the GOP has erected to prevent legalization of cannabis. The thing is, with Republicans, it's never about making the country better. It's about winning. That's all they care about, beating the Democrats. You have to remind them that Republicans and Democrats are both different parts of the same team. And they've got us fighting against each other tooth and nail to the point that I think many of us have forgotten that first and foremost we are Americans. And that you do have to keep up with things such as the infrastructure of this country, the bridges, the electrical grids, the schools. Yet, what party is slashing budgets for education and infrastructure? Take a wild guess. That's right, the GOP. It is worth noting that Franklin Delano Roosevelt was, in fact, our only four-term president, and that during his 3.5 terms in the White House, he did more for the working people of this country than anybody. And the Republicans never forgave him for it, because the minute he was out of the White House, they passed a bill about term limits. Why? Well, they thought it was a form of tyranny. That's right. All of the good that he did for all of the little people, the Republicans viewed as tyranny. And they had to put an end to it. No more fun time for the American people. It's time to start paying the corporations now. And what did the corporations want? They wanted to make sure that no other FDR ever got into the office and started doing things for the little people and not them.